Welcome to Fabulosity For You, and my name is Angie. If this is your first time visiting my channel, please click the subscribe button, then click the notification bell, so when I upload videos, you'll be the first to know. Like this video and make a comment. This channel is about fashion, relationship advice, and lifestyle. And this is not your first time visiting my channel. Well, welcome back, my queens, and welcome to the kings out there. And welcome to all of my new subscribers, and welcome back to my subscribers that have been with me. Tonight, I will be doing the 90-day Fiancé before the 90 days, season 7, episode 10. But before we get into this video, I am doing a giveaway. So make sure you are a subscriber so that you can be a part of this giveaway. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting on? Click that subscribe button so you can be a part of the giveaways. And click the notification bell so when I upload a video, you'll be the first to know. Okay, so go get your drink of choice, go get your snack of choice, and come back and sit with your girl Angie. Text, email, call, stick a letter in a bottle, baby, and let everybody know that Angie is on the line. Okay? So, we are going to get right into this video. But before we do, it's Ratchet Wednesday. It's Ratchet Wednesday. And Ratchet Wednesday is the day I do my reviews of the 90-day Fiancé. Okay, so the first couple we're going to talk about is Tigerlily and Adnan. Oh my God. Tigerlily had been so upset ever since she was on the plane and she saw her man coming out, did a shower, was in the shower and came out with no shirt on, honey. Did a steamy shower looking photo and she was hot. She asked him to delete it, okay? And he was saying that a man could take his shirt off and be shirtless and all of the things. So she was hot. So she finally lands because she went to Turkey to go see her man because they're supposed to be trying to have a baby. So he picks her up and they go to the hotel. And she opens the hotel door. He tells her to go in. And he has these flowers. And I'm not saying like rose petals on the floor. He has full bouquets of flowers on the floor. And it just looked like he had went to the store and just bought all the flowers. And I didn't understand that. I don't know if that's a turkey thing or what. But in America, we do the rose petals. And he had all these candles and tried to make it real romantic. And so Tigerlily walked over all the candles, honey, and got in the bed. And he was like, baby, I did all of this for you. And she was looking like, and I am not impressed. And he was like, what is wrong? We're here together. We're okay. You know, we should be happy and all of the things. What is the matter? And she said, first of all, how you going to sit here and act like ain't nothing wrong? He said, what are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about. How is it that you can show your chest, but I can't show mine? So he was like saying really he thought that they were over that. When she told him to delete it, he did delete it. But he was like, at the end of the day, you're a woman and I'm a man. And in my country, it's okay to have your chest out. But how are you going to have your chest out? That's not okay. And she said, well, I have a problem with that. She said, really, it's not a big deal to her. But because she couldn't do something like that, because she has to cover up, it's not fair that he could do what he want to do, but she can't. And so he was like, that's just how it is in my country. So she said, but I told you that I felt offended that you're my husband. The same way you don't want me to show my body because I'm yours, you're mine, and I don't want you to show your body. And, you know, even though you took it down, you don't get it. It's not right. And so he was like, listen, I didn't come all the way out here to argue with you. And I'm tired of talking about this. So, honey, he went to the bathroom and closed the door. And she was sitting there looking stupid. So finally he came back and he said, listen, I am sorry, okay? I didn't come out here to do this. We're supposed to be making a baby. You know, we haven't seen each other, and this how you gonna start off our visit? So she was like, she went on ahead and she said, okay, I forgive you. I'm okay. And even though she said, I have not even began to talk about what I don't like and what I'm not going to be bothered with, she herself said, hey, I don't want to come out and keep fighting with this man. He did apologize. So he was like, I'm glad, you know, my Tigerlily, I love you. Let's make this baby. So that's how it ended with them. But at the end of the day, Tigerlily has to understand, first of all, you're married a man that's almost 20 years younger than you. So he acting like a young man. He wants to get on social media. He wants to show his little chest because he work out. And she should have done her research on his culture. Instead, she jumps off a plane, she marries a man, and don't even know what he about. And then now they finna have a baby. As I said last week, they want to have children and trying to bring children in the world. And she don't know what his culture is on raising children, the religion, and all of the things. So Tigerlily was too old to be just jumping out the window for this young man. But that's what she did. It's her fault. And she need to deal with it if she want to keep her man. Because it don't look like he going to change. You know, some of these women, they go and they get these young men so they can boss around and tell them what to do and mold them to be who they want. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry. You married a man that he is the head of the head and not the tail. And you're not going to bust him around. You're not going to change him from his beliefs. And so either you're going to get down with the program, or you're not. So I don't feel sorry for Tigerlily. Tigerlily made her own bed. Also, I have my little visitor. And he wants to get out the room. I have the door closed. He's really tripping. But you know what? It is what it is. So the next couple we're going to talk about is Veah and Sonny. So Veah gets up that morning and she texts Sonny and said, can we talk about what happened last night? He was like, no, I don't have anything to say to you. Go ahead on back to America. And she said, please, Sonny, I really would like to talk with you. And he was like, I'm not interested. So she said, well, if you just change your mind, you know where I'm at. So she decides that she was not going to invite Rory to her hotel room. And she shouldn't. And so, guys, I hate to stop here, but I got to let this dog out. 1 minute. Sorry. 1 minute. I am so sorry about that, but he would have been crying until the cows came home, until I had him leave out the door. Okay, so Sonny decides she don't want to ask Rory to come to the room because she felt like that would be disrespectful. If he was to see that, he wouldn't like it, and she didn't want no more smoke from him. So she decided to meet him out. On the way, she stopped at this little stand, and they were selling pineapples. And so she got the pineapple, and then she goes, do you have Apple Pay? And I just thought that was the craziest thing. She's in another country, and she didn't do her homework either, because she should have known they don't have Apple Pay out in South Africa. That was just crazy. And the lady didn't even know what she was talking about. She was like, do you have Apple? And she said, no, I sell pineapple. She said, a card, do you accept cards? She said, no, I accept cash. The lady didn't even look like she would accept a card. So I don't understand Veah. Is she that? I don't know. Is she that tripped out that she didn't understand that and she wouldn't do her homework and she didn't understand you should carry some cash? Or I didn't get that. Or if you going into a store and you can use a credit card perhaps, but you're sitting up at a stand in the middle of nowhere asking this woman if she had Apple Pay. It's like, girl, bye. Girl, why? So she wasn't going to put that pineapple stick back on. So she got on her phone and she dialed Rory and she said, Rory, do you have cash? He was like, of course. Well, can you meet me? How far are you? I'm just around the corner at a stand. So he came around and he was like, what's going on? They don't have Apple Pay. And he looking at her like she is a fool. So he buys hers and then he bought him one. And the lady looking at her like, you are a fool. If you do I look like I have a credit card, accept credit cards? So they started talking and walking, and he was like, what happened last night? And she told him, and he said, well, I can understand him. He's hurt. You did not tell him the truth. And so you need to do whatever you need to do to make it up, to make him understand that you didn't mean anything by it. Me and you are just friends. Because I would hate for you to lose somebody you really like for me. And so she said, yeah, you're right. You need to come clean. You need to be honest, because I know you have a hard time just expressing yourself, but you need to express yourself and let him know that you are sorry. And so she said, well, he won't even talk to me. Well, I don't know what you're going to do, but you need to figure that out. So she goes back to the hotel and Rory says Sonny says he wants to talk. So she was like so happy. So Sonny gets to the hotel room and Veah has some roses. And he was like, oh, okay, thank you for the roses. She was like, I just want to tell you that I didn't mean anything by it, and I don't want you to be upset with me, and I just want to talk. And so Sonny was like, he was coming to the hotel because he felt like he really deserved an explanation because she broke his heart. So he said, yes, let's talk. So they go on the balcony, and she begins to tell him that she really didn't feel comfortable or safe or, just coming as a woman by herself to another country. And and Rory is her best friend. They have nothing going on romantically. She said that she has a problem really expressing herself. That's just how her family was. And she's been through a lot with the death of her brother. And then she said, and with the loss of Rory and I's child. And he was like really surprised to hear that because she never shared that. And he said, well, how come you didn't tell me this? I mean, I've told you so much of what's happened to me. And she said, I just didn't know how to say it. I'm just not good with expressing myself. And so that connection we have is because he was there for me when I lost my brother. And together we lost a child, and I'm still dealing with it. That's another reason I couldn't talk about it. I'm still dealing with it, and he's been helping me deal with it. And so our families are close, and so we are just friends. And he was like, I get that. I'm glad you told me these things. I do understand. But deep down, he feel like, I'm sorry. Deep down, he feels that Rory and Veah have a connection that he doesn't have with her. He wants to be the one she leans on. He wants to be the one that helps her through her problems. And so he kind of deep down feel insecure that he is not the one. And I don't blame him. I'm sorry. I don't blame him. I've been saying this from day one. I think when people that have been in relationships, if they still close like that, it's still some feelings there. It might not be on his part, but it's definitely on her part. And I think eventually down the road, it's possible that they may get together and Sonny be left in the cold. Now, in the comments, let me know, is that something that really happens, that couples can still be, that can break up and still be best friends and go out and tell each other secrets and hang with each other and all of the things? Because I don't know nobody that's done that. I know I wouldn't do that. When I'm done, I'm done. I'm done. So I don't get it. But I know everybody has different thoughts. But my opinion is, I think it's really more to it than that. She's very dependent on him on everything. And what if, does he have a girlfriend? How does his girlfriend feel about her if he has a girlfriend? I just don't see how it's going to work. I think eventually Sonny is going to be left in the cold. But as I said, leave a comment below and let me know what your thoughts about that is. Okay, so next we're going to talk about Bozo and Vanja. So the next day, Vanja was very, very upset and disappointed that Bozo did not spend the night in a hotel. And I don't blame her, you know. And she said, hopefully today is going to be a better day. She's going to shake that off and go with the flow. And hopefully he's different today. So he comes to her place and he has her some brownies, something for breakfast, some pastries. And he says, we're going to go for a tour. I'm going to take you to the tour of the beautiful city. And so she was so excited and bubbly. She was like, oh, wow, that sounds great. Thank you for the treats and da-da-da-da-da. And I mean, she was on 10. And so the country was beautiful where he took her. And he began singing at one point, singing Vanja and Bozo, Vanja, oh Vanja. And she was loving it. She was like, oh my God, continue to sing. He said, Vanja. And he was just singing and she was so happy. And then she started singing, Bozo, Bozo. And then, you know, he stopped and he said, you know, I just want to make things, break the ice. Last night, I would like to talk about it because I know things kind of got funny. And she was like, by all means, talk about it. But let me rewind. Before they got into that, he was telling her he wanted her to meet some of his friends. And then he said, she said, well, what about your mother? Did you tell her about me? And he was like, oh, yeah, I did. And she's already got us married and all of the things. She's praying that we get married. And what about your aunt? She's the same way. And she was like, oh, wow. So what did you say about me? Oh, my God, I can't believe they want us to get married. I mean, she was so happy. And he was like, yeah, I told her, I said, you're a very nice person. You're bubbly and all of the things. And she was just smiling. So then he says, I would like to break the ice and talk about last night because I know it got kind of uncomfortable. And she was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Well, you said, I know I said we were friends. And be honest with you, I think that's what we are. And I want us to be on the same page because you seem like we're supposed to be in a relationship. And she was like, oh my God, you should have seen the hurt in her eyes. And she was like, we've been talking for 8 months. I done came all the way out here to see you. And you telling me that we're not in a relationship? That we just friends? I'm sorry. We have told each other we loved each other. I mean, so what are you talking about? Is there some, do you not have attraction with me? You don't feel a connection? And he said, I feel right now a connection with you as a friend. I'm sorry, but I don't feel a connection, a love connection. I don't feel that attraction that you're supposed to have. I'm not saying that I can't get to that point, but I'm just letting you know right now, I don't feel a romantic connection with you. And oh my God, she started crying. She said, I can't believe this. Oh my God, why is it? Why? We've been talking on the phone. We've been talking about so many different things. We told each other we loved each other. And now you're telling me we don't have a connection? You're not attracted? Now, I'm sorry, again, in the comments, do you think that he is really feeling this? I guess he does feel this way. Or is he afraid that to tell her he don't have the job and just not setting himself up for disappointment if she don't want to be bothered? Is he still in love with his ex-girlfriend? Because I'm sorry, if you've been talking on the phone for 8 months and they've been video chatting with each other, you can tell on the phone if you got some type of physical attraction to that person. Now, I do understand sometimes when you come in person, but she's always had this bubbly personality when he was talking with her. She looks the same. So I just don't get it. And my heart goes out for Vanja. It really do, because she was really hurt. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't. But what he do need to do is come clean and say he don't have a job. So I think he's kind of not wanting to get hurt and not wanting to get physical with her yet because he has not told the truth. Or is it that he just don't feel the connection? Let me know in the comments how you feel about that, because I don't think he's right for that. Not at all. Okay, so next couple we're going to go with is Chidi and Rayne. So Rayne last week, she was laying in the bed, honey, with her phone, taking a picture. She had her lingerie on, honey, thinking she was fine, saying she gonna give him something he can feel. So Chidi calls Rayne. I told you last week. So he called her and he told her, let's meet in the park. So Chidi not stupid. He not finna get into that raggedy hotel she in. So she can try to tear all his clothes off, honey, and hold him captive. So she was all happy. She was like, oh, I'm meeting Chidi, and he wants to meet in the park, and he knows that I like to be outdoors. I can't wait to see Chidi. Chidi probably going to want to come back with me to the hotel. Chidi, right? So Chidi, she sees Chidi at the park, and she was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful here. He was like, yeah, well, let's go by the water. And so he said, I just wanted to talk with you because we need to talk about what happened. You said to me that you had no man to treat you right and was never there for you. And then you talked about my sister, well, sisters, before you even got there. You was talking about us sisters never like you. So you already had something against my sister. She was like, hold up. No. You still sucking your sister's titty. Forget that. If you still on the titty, I don't even want to be bothered. He was like, can I talk? No, you can't. And he was like, see, you the one that don't know how. And she talking over him. I don't want to hear it. You're this. You're that. I don't want you. You still sucking on your sister titty, always taking up for her and not taking up for me. Don't worry. I don't want to be bothered with you. I don't want to be bothered with. He said, you don't let me talk. I'm not going to let you talk. Because let me tell you, mofo, you messing with the wrong woman. I'm like, oh my God. This woman is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Because first of all, she had no business getting disrespectful in this woman's house. Period. She all in the woman's face What you gonna do? What you gonna do? To his sister. Disrespectful to the brother-in-law. Disrespectful to Chidi. Chidi has dodged a bullet. I'm so glad he listened to his friend. Because at the end of the day, if he would have came to the United States, honey, she would have done him so wrong. As I keep saying, a lot of women, they go to these places and they want to get a man from another country so that they can boss him around and be the boss. It's just crazy that she couldn't even hear this man out. She had to demasculate him and get loud like that. And Chidi knew how she was. Chidi been talking with this woman for years. So I blame Chidi for letting this woman come down. I know he needs love, but that's not the right one for him to love, honey. So it was crazy, and that's how that ended. So the last couple we're going to talk about is Niles and Matilda. I'm going to make this pretty fast. Okay, so Niles and Matilda are supposed to go to see her parents. So Matilda was like, you can't go see when you go see my parents, I want you to go get your hair cut and look presentable. So the guy at the barbershop had said, if you don't, he was telling the situation was going on. He said, now, if you lie and don't marry Matilda, they're going to put a curse on you. And I mean, he was really believing that they was going to do that. He told Matilda that, and she thought it was kind of, looked like she wanted to laugh, but she wanted him to believe that so he'll come back and marry her. So she had never been on a plane before, and she was like, oh my God, I've never been on a plane. My family we've always been so poor. Well, I've never been able to take a plane. I'm so excited but scared all at the same time. He said, Matilda, you're going to be okay. So they get on the plane, and she's like, oh my God, I am so afraid. And at the end of the day, she basically, it wasn't bad. She did enjoy the plane ride. It was exciting. So when they got off the plane, she was like, oh my God, my first time on the plane. I can't wait to have my second time when I go to the United States. And so Niles decided that he really didn't want to stay at Matilda's family's house because with his autism, he can't really like to be in crowds, and there's a lot of people that live in her house. So he decided to get a hotel, and he was glad he decided to do that because then that gave him more time to not talk to Matilda's family because he's nervous about whether or not they will accept him. He doesn't want this curse and all of the things. So the next day they go to Matilda's family house, and it was like a lot of people on the porch. I mean, a lot of people was on the porch, and he was nervous. And Matilda was like, don't be nervous, and, things is going to be okay. So they sit down, and the uncle comes to him and says, why are you here? And he was like, they were very formal. Why are you here? And so he was like, well, I come because I want to marry Matilda. And he was happy. He was, okay, welcome. He talked in his language with the rest of the family, and they was grinning, they was smiling. So he said, are you going to do the knock? I think it's called the knocking or something like that. And he was like, yes, I intend to do the knocking. And so he said, that's great. That's great. And he told the family, and they was welcoming him and smiling and stuff. And so he said, okay, so the wedding is going to take place after the knocking. It's our tradition. And so he told Matilda, I don't know where to go from here. I don't know what to say. So Matilda was helping him. And she was like, you need to say this and you need to say that. So then he was like, well, I'm not going to be able to marry her exactly after the knocking, but I am going to come back and I'm going to marry Matilda. I promise. So the uncle was kind of looking like, oh, no, he didn't. Oh, no, he didn't. So he talked in the language to the family, and they was looking all mean and mean mugging him, and, and they was whispering amongst themselves, and they was, it took a minute, and Niles was looking all scared. And so finally the uncle said, my family says, okay, but you must come back in 2 months to marry Matilda. Are you going to agree to that? So he again said to Matilda, I don't want to lie to them. I don't know what to do. So Matilda said, don't give no date, because I don't want you to lie. Don't give no date. Just say, hey, you'll be back as soon as possible. You promise, and you're going to marry Matilda. And you're going to marry me. So that's what he said. He said, I'm planning on coming back very soon to marry Matilda. See, look at her ring. Look at the ring. I bought her this ring as a promise that I will be back. And so they was looking at him. And the uncle was looking at him. And then he started speaking in the language. And they was all looking at him. And then the uncle said, okay. Okay. And they welcomed him. And then Niles, they wanted him to say the prayer. They went to eat, and everybody was welcoming him, and he said the prayer, and everything worked out. It worked out in Niles' favor. But next week it shows that one of the elderly women is like, no, that's not good, because this is our tradition. And we're not going to change our tradition for him. So I don't know how it's going to go next week. But for this week, everything turned out okay. So that's all I have. That's all I got. I hope you enjoyed this review. And so make sure you like this video and make a comment. Let me know how you felt about some of the things that I had talked about. And what do you think about Niles? Do you really believe his family is going to let him come back and marry Matilda? I don't know. Do you think her family is going to let him marry Matilda? So please, make a comment below. And thank you for watching my channel.